Hello dear traders, welcome to InstaForex TV channel. You're watching a weekly link up with me, Anna Kasatkina. We would like to discuss the ongoing situation on Forex with technical analyst Peter Yakimovic and forecast further moves of popular currency pairs. This week, the US dollar has been able to win back its losses. The greenback closed last trading week in the red. Now it is on track to close this week with gains. The reason behind its resilience is the same: data on unemployment claims in the US. Last week, a weekly update from the US Labor Department disappointed traders with a bigger than expected rise in the number of initial claims for unemployment insurance. However, on Thursday, the number of jobless claims sank to a 3-month low. Besides, the US GDP growth in the fourth quarter was upgraded in the second estimate that certainly encouraged investors. At the same time, the euro climbed above 1.22 against the US dollar for the first time since January 12. The euro asserted strength in light of better than expected consumer sentiment index and upbeat GDP data for Germany. Some European countries decided to lift lockdowns that added up to the overall investors' optimism. So they hope to see the green shoots of recovery in the eurozone in the near future. How do technical charts impact the trading sentiment in financial markets? Let's ask our technical expert Peter Yakimovic. Hi, Peter.
Hello there, traders. On the euro versus US dollar, basically what I found is that price got the breakout of the 3-day balance on the daily time frame. Basically, we already got a good standard deviation move of that breakout, and the price basically in the euro reached some extreme levels. Most recently, that from my perspective, this is not that trade location to establish any long positions. Actually, there is a potential for the downside rotation. So on the euro dollar, in the near future, I do expect at least some correction based on this recent upside move. And my preferred strategy will be to try to sell on this and try to capture that downside correction. Probably there is a space and potential test for the 1.2170 level and 1.2110 level, with definitely a good resistance around 1.2250. Based on the daily time frame, there is a still potential that euro dollar might still be just in the ABC form. So there's still potential for the downside rotation. And again, my preferred strategy will be, since the market is extending the way up, to try to benefit on this downside swing eventually, which we might see on the euro dollar, and try to capture that downside correction at least, or a whole new downside wave.
Could you please share your ideas on the pound of sterling?
On the British pound versus US dollar, we found basically the buyers were in control for many days. But what I found basically on the 8-hour time frame is that price is going upside, but is going on a very slow pace. I basically found a rising channel, the very tight channel, which is basically for me a big sign, a big warning that buyers might be exhausted and that there is a potential selling in the near future. So we also did have, most recently, we got a climax, the buying climax on top of that. And we did have in the background that slow pattern. So I think that pound basically reached the extreme levels on the way up, and it will need to correct. And probably the downside target can be around 1.4 level, which is also a round number and a great daily pivot level. So preferable strategy, and my expectation is that the pound will eventually do that correction because it seems so exhausted, and there is a buying climax of potential ending and potential topping activity. So I'll prefer downside opportunities on the British pound versus US dollar.
Positive stats on the US economy and a surge in the US bond yields are dragging gold prices down. What lows can the price of the precious metal reach in the short term?
On the gold, the situation is basically the same like in my previous forecast. So basically the downside trend is still active based on the daily time frame. We got a series of lower lows and lower highs, and there is no change of the trend in terms of technical analysis. So price is basically gold is just rallying for a few days and then start a new down leg. So my expectation is still that price can go down, probably go and test the level at 1765, and even try to test a 1720 level, which is the next downside target also on the gold. So again, downtrend in the play. We did have a few days rally, and we got more downside continuation. So I prefer, trading the swing term trading, again, watching for the sell on the rallies and try to benefit of this downside cycle on the gold.
Thank you, Peter, for your trading analysis, and see you next week. You have watched Linkup on InstaForex TV channel with me, Anna Kasatkina, and Peter Yakimovic, technical analyst of InstaForex office. We wish you always profitable trading and see you soon.